Brother. The moment I pushed open the hotel room door, this was the first sweetly spoken phrase I heard. In the bedroom, my fiancé Chen Haoxuan was next to my cousin Lin Yuxuan. Their actions suggestive. Yuxuan. Wait a little longer. Once I marry Song Wanwan and get that 10 billion dowry, we can. Chen Haoxuan's words came to an abrupt end as he saw me standing at the door. The room fell into a frightening silence in an instant. Lin Yuxuan's face flashed with a hint of panic. But she quickly regained her composure, even showing a trace of smugness. Sister, you're here. She leisurely sat up from the bed, showing no shame at being caught in the act. Instead, she tidied her disheveled hair like a victorious champion. Chen Haoxuan's face was ashen, and he fumbled to put on his clothes. Wanwans, you have to let me explain. Things are not as you think. I quietly watched them, feeling a sense of relief instead of the anger and pain I had imagined. No need to explain. My voice was calm. I've seen everything. Sister. Don't blame Brother Haoxuan. Lin Yuxuan stood up and walked in front of me. It was my initiative. I have liked him since childhood. But unfortunately, he was blinded by your money. Her words carried a clear provocation, as if to say, look. What does it matter if you have $1 billion dowry? The one he loves is me. Chen Haoxuan hurriedly waved his hand. Yuxuan, don't talk nonsense. Wanwan, my feelings for you are real. Really. I chuckled lightly. Is it really true that he has to wait until he gets my dowry to be with her? Chen Haoxuan's face turned even paler, his lips trembling and unable to speak. Older sister, stop pretending. Lin Yuxuan walked up to Chen Haoxuan, looping her arm through his. Do you really think that Brother Haoxuan loves you? He loves the money of the Song family. If you didn't have that billion in dowries, do you think he'd even spare you a glance? Her words pierced my heart like a knife. But my expression remained calm. You're right. I nodded. So, there's no need to hold this wedding. Chen Haoxuan immediately panicked. Lon, calm down a bit. We still have feelings for each other. Right. This is just a moment of impulse. Feelings. I looked at him. Chen Haoxuan. Do you know? 3 months ago when you first went to a hotel with her behind my back, I already knew. Both of them froze simultaneously. You knew all along. Chen Haoxuan looked at me in disbelief. I took my phone out of my bag and opened a folder. Not just 3 months ago. I've kept a record of every one of your secret meetings over the past 6 months. The phone screen displayed numerous photos, clearly documenting their intimate behaviors in various locations. Hotels, cafes, cinemas, even on my living room sofa. Lin Yuxuan's expression finally changed. You took secret photos of us. Secret photos. I put away my phone. This is called gathering evidence. After all, I need enough reasons to cancel this wedding. Chen Haoxuan was thoroughly panicked. He rushed over to grab my hand. Wanwan, since you already knew, why didn't you say it earlier? We could have talked it over. I took a step back, avoiding his touch, because I want to see just how far you can go with your act. Especially you. Yuxuan. I looked at Lin Yuxuan. Last night you were crying in front of me, worried that marrying Chen Haoxuan would make me unhappy, urging me to think carefully. Truly a superb performance. Lin Yuxuan's face turned beet red, but she quickly regained her composure. Sister, since you already know, I'll stop pretending. Yes, I love Brother Haoxuan, and he loves me too. We are genuinely in love, unlike you, who are merely in a union of interests. You're right. I nodded. Since it's a union of interests, now that the interests are gone, this marriage naturally becomes unnecessary. Chen Haoxuan was anxious. Wanwan, don't act impulsively. Our wedding is happening tomorrow, and the guests have already been invited. If you cancel now, you would be very embarrassed. Right, I interrupted him. And you would lose that 1 billion dowry, wouldn't you? He opened his mouth, but couldn't find a rebuttal. I turned and walked towards the door, and just before leaving, I glanced back at them. Tomorrow's wedding will go ahead as scheduled, but the bride will not be me. Wanwan. Chen Haoxuan wanted to chase after her, but was stopped by Lin Yuxuan. I heard Lin Yuxuan laughing triumphantly behind me. Brother Haoxuan, let her go. Without her, we can finally be together. After leaving the hotel, I sat in the car for a long time. My phone rang. It was my assistant, Xiao He, calling. Miss Song, The final confirmation for tomorrow's wedding has been completed. Is there anything that needs adjusting? No adjustments needed. Let's proceed as planned, I said. All right. By the way, I've prepared those documents you requested. And they'll be delivered to you first thing in the morning. Okay. Thank you for your hard work. I hung up the phone and started the car. Tomorrow's wedding will indeed take place as scheduled. But Chen Haoxuan and Lin Yuxuan will never imagine what awaits them. This game has only just begun. Chapter 2. The next morning, I was awakened by a rapid knock on the door. Wan. Are you there? It was my mom, Song Yakan's voice, sounding very anxious. I opened the door and saw my mom standing at the entrance with red eyes, followed by my dad. Song Ziyuan. Wan. Did you have a fight with Haoxuan yesterday? He came looking for us first thing in the morning, saying you want to cancel the wedding. My mom asked eagerly. I let them in and have a seat, briefly recapping what happened yesterday. After hearing this, my mother was furious. That Chen Haoxuan. I told you he wasn't a good person. I opposed your relationship from the very beginning. My father was relatively calm. Wan. You did the right thing. A man like that isn't worth a lifetime of commitment. But the wedding is about to start. What should we do now? Dad. Mom. The wedding will go on as planned, I said. Both of them were taken aback. Wan. What do you mean? Mom asked, confused. I have my plans. I smiled. Just trust me. As I was saying that, the doorbell rang again. This time, it was Chen Haoxuan and his parents, Chen Guqiang and Li Meihua. As soon as they entered, Li Meihua began to cry. Wan. Can't you and Haoxuan talk things over? Why cause a breakup on the eve of the wedding? Chen Guqiang also had a worried expression on his face. Yes. With such a good relationship between our families, the kids acting on impulse shouldn't lead the adults to cause a ruckus. Chen Haoxuan stood at the back, his face haggard, looking as if he hadn't slept all night. Uncle and aunt, it's not out of impulse, I said calmly. It's Chen Haoxuan who has cheated. In an instant, the room fell silent. Li Meihua's crying abruptly stopped, and Chen Guqiang's expression also turned sour. Cheated? How is that possible? Haoxuan he. Li Meihua wanted to argue further. Mom, stop talking. Chen Haoxuan lowered his head. It's my fault for Wan. He admitted it. Chen Guqiang glared fiercely at his son, then said to me, Wan, Haoxuan is young and immature. You're the adult here, so forgive him this once. Men, which one hasn't made mistakes? I almost laughed out loud. Uncle Chen, are you saying that cheating is a man's nature and women should tolerate it? Chen Guqiang's face turned a bit awkward. I didn't mean it that way. I mean, since the wedding preparations are all set, let's not make a big deal out of something trivial. Trivial. My mother, Song Yakan, was furious. Your son cheating is trivial. If it's so trivial, why don't you let your wife go find a few men to play with? Li Meihua's face turned bright red. What did you just say? What I said. Can't you understand? Mom didn't back down at all. Your son is cheating, and you say it's trivial. Then your cheating must also be trivial. Right. The two women were on the verge of arguing when Dad stepped in just in time to mediate. All right. Everyone calm down. Chen Haoxuan suddenly knelt down. Wan. I'm sorry. I truly realize my mistakes. He took my hand. I swear. It won't happen again. Our wedding can't be cancelled. I really love you. I looked at him coldly. Love me. Or love my dowry. His expression changed. Wan. How can you say that? My feelings for you are real. Really. I took out my phone from my bag and played a recording. After I marry Song Wan and get that billion in dowry, we can. It was exactly what he said in the hotel last night. The room fell into dead silence once again. Chen Haoxuan's face turned completely white, and Li Meihua dared not defend her son any longer. Chen Guqiang's expression became extremely grim. Haoxuan, how could you say such things? But I noticed that his eyes reflected more panic than anger, because they all have their eyes on my billion-dollar dowry. Now that everyone has heard clearly. Right. I put away my phone. This is your good son. Your perfect son-in-law. Chen Guqiang wanted to remedy the situation. Wan. Haoxuan was just confused for a moment and said some nonsense. Nonsense. I laughed. Is that nonsense when he gets into bed with my cousin too? At this moment, The doorbell rang again. I opened the door, and Lin Yuxuan appeared at the threshold. She was dressed in a long white dress. Her makeup finely applied, looking enchanting. Sister, I heard you're going to cancel the wedding. She stepped inside and glanced at Chen Haoxuan, who was kneeling on the ground. Brother Haoxuan, why are you kneeling? Chen Haoxuan saw her, a glimmer of hope flashing in his eyes. Yuxuan, you're just in time. Quickly help me persuade Wanwan. What should I persuade her about? Lin Yuxuan walked up to him. Persuade her to continue marrying you. This fickle man. Everyone froze. Lin Yuxuan actually wouldn't speak up for Chen Haoxuan. I watched her with great interest, curious about what trick she was going to play. Sister, even though Xiao Xian and I are in love, I can't just stand by and watch you jump into the fire, Lin Yuxuan said with an expression of righteousness. A man like him, who only sees money, isn't worth you entrusting your life to. An impressive performance. Is she trying to shape a poignant image of sacrificing love for her sister's happiness? Chen Haoxuan was completely dumbfounded. Yuxuan, what are you talking about? I'm telling the truth. Lin Yuxuan turned to me. Sister, you have a dowry of 1 billion. What kind of good man can't you find? Why should you humiliate yourself by marrying a man who only loves money? You are right. I nodded. So this wedding really cannot happen. A trace of triumph flashed in Lin Yuxuan's eyes, but she quickly concealed it. Sister, I'm glad you can see it clearly. Chen Haoxuan panicked. Wanwan, you can't listen to her. She's doing this on purpose. What do you mean on purpose? Lin Yuxuan retorted. On purpose to make my sister see your true colors. At that moment, my phone rang. It was Assistant Xiao He calling. Miss Song, the items you requested are ready. Should I bring them over now? Well, come over now. 10 minutes later, Xiao He appeared at home, holding a file envelope. Miss Song, here are all the materials you requested. I took the file envelope, pulled out a stack of photos from inside. Since everyone is here, I'll make things clear. I raised the photo. This is all the evidence of Chen Haoxuan and Lin Yuxuan's secret meetings over the past 6 months. I displayed the photos one by one. Kisses at the hotel entrance, intimate gazes in the restaurant, affectionate gestures in the cinema. Each photo was time-stamped, clearly documenting the entire process of their affair. Seeing these photos, everyone present was stunned, especially my parents. They never expected that I had long known all of this and had gathered such detailed evidence. Lin Yuxuan's face changed repeatedly, finally forcing herself to say, Sister, are you spying on us? Spying? I scoffed. I'm protecting myself. After all, who knows if you'll continue this relationship even after getting married? Since you love each other, why not be open about it? I looked at them. Why deceive me? Chen Haoxuan and Lin Yuxuan were both at a loss for words, because their intentions were never pure from the very start. What they wanted was not love, but my money. Chapter 3. All right. Since we've laid everything bare, I will make an official announcement. I stood up. The betrothal with Chen Haoxuan is hereby officially dissolved. Chen Guoqiang hurriedly stood up and said, Wanwan, don't be impulsive. Even if Haoxuan has done something wrong, it shouldn't mean cutting off all ties. Right. After all, the two families still have business dealings. Business dealings. These 4 words finally revealed their true intentions. My dad, Song Ziyuan, fell silent, his expression darkening. Chen Guoqiang, what do you mean by that? I didn't mean anything. Chen Guoqiang realized he had misspoken and quickly explained. What I mean is, the children's matters shouldn't affect the friendship between our families. Friendship? My mother, Song Yakin, scoffed. Do you think we're the fools here? The atmosphere became increasingly tense, and at that moment, Lin Yuxuan suddenly spoke up. Sister, since you've already made your decision, I won't hide it any longer. She walked to Chen Haoxuan's side and linked her arm with his. We truly love each other. And we want to be together. Chen Haoxuan looked at her, his eyes filled with complicated emotions. I knew what he was thinking. Losing me meant losing 1 billion in dowry. Although Lin Yuxuan was beautiful, her family didn't have much money. This was a difficult choice for him. Yuxuan. Chen Haoxuan hesitated. Words stuck in his throat. What's wrong? Are you having second thoughts now? Lin Yuxuan's voice was somewhat sharp. You didn't say that last night. You said you loved me. And that after dealing with Song Wanwan, you'd be with me. Chen Haoxuan's face looked even worse. I stood by, watching coldly as this couple turned on each other. Since you love each other, then be together, I said. I'll make it happen for you. A glimmer of smugness flashed in Lin Yuxuan's eyes, but Chen Haoxuan panicked. Lon, listen to me. I don't want to listen. I interrupted him. Chen Haoxuan, from now on, we have nothing to do with each other. After saying that, I turned to Lin Yuxuan. Yuxuan, congratulations. You won. Lin Yuxuan's sense of triumph became even more apparent on her face. Sister, thank you for letting this happen. I will treat brother Haoxuan well. Is that so? I chuckled. Then I should congratulate you even more. After all, it's not easy to find a man who would sell his emotions for money. Lin Yuxuan's smile faltered for a moment. Chen Haoxuan hurriedly defended himself. Wan, my feelings for Yuxuan are real. Really. I pulled out another piece of material from the file bag. Then how do you explain this? It was a bank transfer record. 3 months ago, the day after your first date, Chen Haoxuan received a transfer of 500,000. The sender, Lin Yuxuan. Everyone froze. Lin Yuxuan paid Chen Haoxuan. There's also this. I continued to take out the materials. 2 months ago, Lin Yuxuan transferred another million to Chen Haoxuan. Last month, it was another million. The room was deathly silent. Chen Haoxuan's face had turned as pale as paper, and Lin Yuxuan was completely stunned. What is going on? Li Meihua stammered. I looked at Lin Yuxuan. Yuxuan, aren't you going to explain? Why did you transfer money to Chen Haoxuan? Lin Yuxuan's lips trembled, and she couldn't say a word for a long time. I'll help you explain, I said coldly. Because this whole thing was your plan. You paid Chen Haoxuan to seduce me, and then deliberately let me discover it before the wedding, making me the one to propose a breakup. This way, you could take the opportunity to step in and become Mrs. Chen. No, that's not true. Lin Yuxuan tried to argue. Not possible. I pulled out another piece of material. Then how do you explain this recording? I pressed the play button, and Lin Yuxuan's voice filled the room. Hao Xian, according to our plan, you should get close to Song Wanwan and make her fall in love with you. Then, just before the wedding, we'll let her find out about us on purpose. She will definitely angrily demand a breakup, and then you will be free. But Yuxuan, is this really a good idea? What if she doesn't want to break up? No. I know my sister well. She can't stand betrayal the most. Once she finds out we're together, she will definitely break up with you immediately. By then, you can marry me. But she has 1 billion in dowry. What does 1 billion in dowry mean? My dad's company is about to go public, and by then our worth will be greater than 1 billion. And besides, what does someone like Song Wanwan have other than money? She's average looking and boring in personality. Do you really want to spend your life with her? The recording ends here. The air in the room seemed to freeze. Everyone looked at Lin Yuxuan in disbelief. It turned out that this was all part of her scheme. She paid Chen Haoxuan to get close to me, and then at the last moment, she deliberately let herself be discovered, prompting me to take the initiative to break up. In this way, she could be open about being with Chen Haoxuan, while also shaping an image of sacrificing for love. What a clever plan. Lin Yuxuan's face turned pale. She never expected that I had even recorded this private conversation. When did you record it? She asked, trembling. Just last month. When you met at the cafe, I said lightly. Luckily, I have the habit of recording. Otherwise, I really would have been deceived by you. Chen Haoxuan was completely dumbfounded. He never expected that he had been used by Lin Yuxuan all along. Yuxuan, why? Why did you do this? He asked in disbelief. Lin Yuxuan knew that her cover was blown, so she decided to let it all fall apart. Because I hate her. Ever since we were kids, everyone said she was better than me, and my parents favored her more. Why? Just because she is the daughter of the Song family. I will prove to everyone that even if she has 1 billion in dowry, I can still take her man. Her words were filled with jealousy and malice, shocking everyone present. My dad, Song Ziyuan, said angrily. Lin Yuxuan, Wanwan treats you like her own sister. How can you do this to her? Sister, Lin Yuxuan scoffed. When has she ever treated me like a real sister? From childhood to now, hasn't she always looked down on me, giving me scraps, my birthday gifts, my tuition, my living expenses? None of it wasn't given to me by her. Does she think I'll be grateful for that? I hate her charity. I hate her superiority. I want to destroy her. Lin Yuxuan's words made me feel a bit uncomfortable. I have indeed been helping her financially since we were young. But I never felt that it was charity. I just hoped she could live a better life. I never expected that. In her eyes, my kindness had turned into arrogance and charity. Since you hate me so much, why do you still accept my help? I asked. Because I deserve it. Lin Yuxuan yelled hysterically. The Song family is so wealthy. What's wrong with giving me a little? Her worldview was completely turned upside down. Accepting others' help is a given, but gratitude is unnecessary. Such a person is truly beyond redemption. Chen Haoshuan looked at the mad Lin Yuxuan. A look of fear etched on his face. He finally realized how horribly he had been used by such a terrifying woman. Yuxuan, please calm down. He wanted to comfort her. Calm. Lin Yuxuan turned to him. Now that the plan has failed, do you want to turn back and find Song Wanwan? Let me tell you, that's not happening. I've already recorded all your conversations just now, and if you dare to betray me, I'll make the recording public so everyone knows what kind of person you are. Chen Haoshuan's expression grew even worse. He truly found himself in a dilemma now. I stood by watching their internal strife, finding it only amusing. Is this their love? Is this their sincerity? It's merely an exchange of interests. Chapter 4. All right. Since the truth has been revealed, let's talk about the follow-up. I sat back down, my tone as calm as if discussing the weather. Chen Guoqiang and Li Meihua exchanged glances, not expecting things to escalate to this extent. Wanwan. This is all a misunderstanding. Li Meihua tried to salvage the situation. Misunderstanding. I scoffed. Are these transfer records also a misunderstanding? Are these recordings also a misunderstanding? Chen Guoqiang knew that further arguments were futile and could only lower his head in apology. Wanwan. It's our failure to discipline properly that led Haoshuan to do this. Whatever punishment you decide, we will accept. Punishment. I looked at him. Uncle Chen, do you think this is a matter of punishment? Then, what do you want to do? I took out the last piece of material from the file bag. This is the indictment I had my lawyer prepare. Fraud, extortion, defamation. The actions of Chen Haoshuan and Lin Yuxuan have already constituted a criminal offense. As soon as they heard about the lawsuit, everyone panicked. Lan, don't. Li Meihua kneeled down. Haoshuan is still young. He can't have a record. Chen Guoqiang was anxious too. Lan, we're willing to compensate. Just name your price. Compensate. I looked at them. Do you think money can solve all problems? Then, what do you want for you to forgive Haoshuan? I stood up and walked to the window. Uncle Chen, some things aren't just about forgiving or not forgiving. It's about trust. Once trust is lost, it can never be regained. Chen Haoshuan suddenly spoke up. Wanwan, I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Please give me a chance to make it up. Okay. I turned around to look at him. Make it up? How are you going to make it up? I will cut ties with you, Xian. I will correct all my mistakes. I will spend a lifetime proving my love for you. Prove. I interrupted him. Chen Haoshuan, do you know how I've been getting by these past 6 months? He froze. Every night. I wonder if there's something I haven't done well enough. Which is why you're growing colder towards me. I reflect on myself. Change myself. Wanting to win back your heart. I've even doubted myself. Wondering if it's true what others say. That apart from money, there's nothing worth having. Do you know what that feeling is like? Doubting the value of your own existence. Questioning whether you are worthy of love. My words silenced the room once more. Chen Haoshuan's face showed a look of guilt, but I knew it wasn't genuine remorse. It was merely panic from the exposure of the truth. But now I understand. I continued. It's not that I'm not good enough, but that you never truly cared. From the very beginning, you have been acting, performing for me, and for everyone else. For the past 6 months, I've been like a clown, spinning around in your schemes, Lin Yuxuan said unwillingly. It's your own foolishness. Who can you blame? Yuxuan. Chen Haoshuan tried to stop her, but it was already too late. I looked at Lin Yuxuan and said, you're right. I was too foolish. I actually regarded people like you as family and loved ones. However, even fools have their own ways. I sat back down and looked at everyone present. Since you care so much about money, let's talk about money then. Chen Guoqiang's eyes lit up. Wan. Do you mean? My billion-dollar dowry was supposed to be transferred to Chen Haoxuan after the wedding, I said slowly. But now, the wedding is cancelled. So, of course, this money will not be given to him. Chen Haoxuan's face instantly turned pale. $1 billion. That's $1 billion. Is that it? Just gone. Wan. You can't do this. He stammered. What can't I do? I retorted. Can't I take back what is rightfully mine? But we've already invested so much money for this wedding. Investment. I sneered. How much have you invested? Let me tell you how much I've invested in this wedding. I pulled out a list. 5-star hotel banquet hall. 500,000. Custom wedding gown from a top designer. 800,000. Fresh flower arrangements imported from Europe. 300,000. A renowned photographer for the entire event. 200,000. Plus various jewelry, wedding favors, honeymoon travel costs. In total, 8 million. All of this money has come from me. What have you contributed? Chen Guoqiang and Li Meihua were speechless. Indeed, in order to showcase the Song family's strength, all the expenses for this wedding were covered by our family. The Chen family hardly spent any money. Now that the wedding is cancelled, this 8 million is my loss. I looked at them. Tell me, who should bear this loss? Chen Haoxuan panicked. Wan, you can't let us lose money. Why can't I? I said boldly. It was you who broke the contract first, so you should naturally bear the responsibility for the breach. At this point, my dad Song Ziyuan also spoke up. Chen Guoqiang, your family is considered a reputable one. Don't you have the decency to take some responsibility? Chen Guoqiang's face turned bright red, but he couldn't find any words to argue back. There's one more thing, I continued. For the past 6 months, Chen Haoxuan has been taking various advantages from me. Luxury watches, high-end cars, designer clothes, and various other expenses, adding up to about 2 million, since it was obtained through deceit. It should be returned. Chen Haoxuan was completely dumbfounded. Wan, are you trying to bankrupt our family? Bankrupt? I laughed. Chen Haoxuan, you really think too highly of yourself. 10 million is nothing. It won't bankrupt the Chen family. Besides, these are consequences you all should bear. Li Meihua cried. Wan, we really can't come up with that much money. Can't come up with it. I looked at her. Then return everything Chen Haoxuan has taken from me over the years. Watches, cars, clothes, not a single item less. Also, move out of the villa I rented for you immediately. The Chen family was taken aback. They didn't expect that I remembered these details so clearly. Indeed, over the past 2 years, I had provided a lot of support to maintain Chen Haoxuan's decent lifestyle. I have helped with renting houses, buying cars, and even with the cash flow of Chen Guoqiang's company. Now that I think about it, it's indeed a considerable amount. Wan, are you trying to annihilate me? Chen Guoqiang asked, trembling. Annihilate you? I looked at him. Uncle Chen, I just want to reclaim what rightfully belongs to me. Is that called annihilation? What are we going to do from now on? What to do? I said coldly. That's no longer my concern. Just as I was speaking, the doorbell rang again. Xiao He walked in, holding a document in his hands. Miss Song, the items you requested are ready. I took the documents, glanced at them, and nodded in satisfaction. Very well. Since everyone is here, I will announce the final arrangements. I stood up and looked around at everyone. From today onwards, I will cut off all ties with the Chen family. Business cooperation is terminated. Personal relationships are over. And as for Lin Yuxuan, I will inform Uncle Lin and Aunt Lin about what their daughter has done. As for the legal proceedings, I paused. I will decide based on your subsequent behavior. Lin Yuxuan panicked. Sister, you can't tell my parents. Why not? I retorted. They have the right to know the true nature of their daughter. Please, don't tell them. Lin Yuxuan pleaded with me through tears, but I had already made up my mind. These people must pay the price for their actions. Chapter 5. 2 hours later. The house finally fell silent. The Chen family and Lin Yuxuan had all been sent away by me, leaving only my parents and me. Wan, won't what you're doing be too extreme? Mom asked with some concern. Extreme? I laughed bitterly. Mom, you've seen how they've treated me over the past 6 months. Now I'm just taking back what's mine. Is that extreme? Dad patted my shoulder and said, Wan is right. People like that should feel the consequences of their actions. But what's your plan next? I took a deep breath and replied, Dad, I want to go abroad for a while. Abroad? Mom looked at me in surprise. Well, a change of environment might help improve my mood, I said. And I want to learn something new to enrich myself. Dad nodded. That's a good idea. Where do you want to go? To the UK. I want to study financial management so that I can better help the company develop in the future. All right. I support you. Dad agreed without hesitation. You don't have to worry about the money. Just learn whatever you want. Thank you, Dad. Just then, my phone rang. It's a strange number. Hello. May I speak to Miss Song Wan? Yes. And you are? I'm Wang Min, a reporter from the Urban Evening News. I heard that you cancelled your wedding today. Would you be willing to accept our interview? A reporter. I frowned and said, Sorry, I don't do interviews. Miss Song, we have obtained some information regarding your fiancé's infidelity. If you choose not to respond, we will be forced to report based on the existing information. Is that a threat to me? I let out a cold smile and said, Go ahead and report then. But I remind you, if there are any false reports, my lawyer will be in touch with you. When I finished, I hung up straight away. But soon, the phone rang again. This time it was another media outlet. Then came the third. The fourth. It seems that today's events have already spread. I turned off my phone and said to my parents, It looks like we need to prepare for the storm of public opinion in advance. Dad's expression darkened. How did these media find out about it? It must have been leaked by the Chen family or Lin Yuxuan. I reasoned. They want to force me to compromise through public pressure. That's really despicable. Mom said angrily. But they made a mistake. I said coldly. I have plenty of evidence to prove the truth. Early the next morning, major media outlets reported the news of my cancelled wedding. Most headlines were very eye-catching. The heir's daughter regrets her marriage on the eve of the wedding. $1 billion dowry goes down the drain. The Song family's daughter arbitrarily cancels the wedding. Huge loss for the groom's side. The wealthy daughter runs away at the last minute. Groom pleads for forgiveness on his knees. Looking at these headlines, it's clear that I'm being portrayed as a capricious and willful rich girl. Chen Haoxuan was portrayed as an innocent victim. I scoffed as I finished reading these reports, and then picked up the phone. Xiao He, get ready to hold a press conference. Okay. Miss Song, when? This afternoon at 3 o'clock. What materials do we need to prepare? Get all the evidence we organized yesterday ready. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I appeared at the press conference. Dozens of reporters sat in the audience. Cameras aimed at me. Hello. Dear friends in the press. I stood on the stage. My tone calm. I would like to clarify some facts regarding the cancellation of yesterday's wedding. The audience fell silent immediately. Everyone waiting for me to speak. First of all, I want to clarify that I did not have a sudden change of heart. Instead, I discovered my fiancé's deceit. As I spoke, I gestured for my assistant to play the first recording. It was precisely the words Chen Haoxuan said in the hotel. Once I marry Song Wan and get that 10 billion dowry. The reporters in the audience began to murmur among themselves. This is what I recorded yesterday at the hotel. I continued. From this recording, it is clear that Chen Haoxuan's intentions in approaching me are not pure. Then, I played the recording of Lin Yuxuan planning all of this. When the line I want to prove to everyone that even if she has $1 billion in dowry, I can still take her man away echoed. There was an uproar in the audience. Now everyone should understand. This is not my capriciousness, but a meticulously planned scheme. I looked at the reporters in the audience. I am just a victim who has been deceived. A reporter raised his hand and asked, Miss Song, when did you start having doubts? 3 months ago. I replied. When I discovered some suspicious things and started investigating quietly. Then why didn't you expose them sooner? Because I hoped my doubts were wrong. I gave a bitter smile. I didn't want to believe that the people closest to me would deceive me like this. What are your plans now? I have already instructed my lawyer to prepare to sue them. Fraud, blackmail, defamation, these are all criminal offenses. It is said that Mr. Chen's family is not doing well financially. Are you really going to pursue this to the end? This question made me pause for a moment. Poor economic conditions are not an excuse for crime, I said earnestly. If everyone can deceive others simply because they are short on money, then what fairness is left in this society? Moreover, they are not just harming my possessions, but also my feelings and trust. This kind of harm cannot be measured in money. The press conference lasted over an hour, during which I answered all the journalists' questions in detail. That night, the reports from major media outlets took a complete turn. Rich heiress falls victim to love scam, nearly swindled out of billion-dollar dowry. Cousin conspires with fiancé to set a trap. Heiress nearly deceived. Truth revealed. Not a wedding cancellation but a marriage scam. The comments online started to overwhelmingly support me. That's terrifying. Men like this are simply scum. My cousin isn't a good person either. What kind of fake sisterhood is this? Fortunately, Miss Song is smart and discovered the truth in time. People like him should be punished by law. Looking at these comments, I felt a little more at ease. At least, the truth has been made public. Just then, Chen Haoxuan called. Lon Lon, why did you hold a press conference? Now the whole world knows. How am I supposed to live from now on? His voice was tinged with anger and despair. Being a person, I scoffed. Chen Haoxuan, have you ever been a person? I'm just stating the facts. I interrupted him. If you feel ashamed, then you shouldn't do such things. Can't we part on good terms? Wan, why do you have to make such a big deal out of this? Part on good terms. I scoffed in anger. You set a trap to deceive me for half a year, and now you're telling me to part on good terms. Chen Haoxuan. Listen carefully. I said coldly. This matter will not end like this. You can wait for the court summons. After speaking, I hung up the phone. Starting today, I will make all those who have hurt me pay the price they deserve. Chapter 6. A week later, the court summons arrived as scheduled. Chen Haoxuan and Lin Yuxuan were formally prosecuted for fraud and extortion. This news once again caught the attention of the media. I was watching the news reports at home, but I didn't feel as relaxed as I had imagined. Although the truth had come to light, and the bad guys were punished, the pain of being deceived still lingered deeply in my heart. Lon, Uncle Lin is here. My mom walked into my room and said, he wants to see you. Uncle Lin. I was taken aback for a moment. Then remembered he was Lin Yuxuan's father, my adoptive father. Growing up, both he and Aunt Lin cared for me deeply, and I always regarded them as family. But now, I went downstairs and saw Uncle Lin sitting in the living room. His hair had turned much grayer, and he looked noticeably haggard. Wan. He saw me and his eyes immediately turned red. I'm sorry. It's my fault for not teaching Yuxuan well. My heart softened, and I walked over to sit beside him. Uncle Lin, it's not your fault. It is my fault. He patted his own thigh heavily. I've spoiled her too much since she was little, making her develop this kind of personality. I heard about the things she did. Truly inhumane. Seeing his pained expression, I felt a deep sadness in my heart. Lin Yuxuan made a mistake, but her parents are innocent. Uncle Lin, please don't blame yourself too much. I whispered in comfort. Evening. Can you forgive your uncle? He held my hand. And forgive Yuxian once. Okay. She's still young. If she has a criminal record, her life will be ruined. I fell silent. It would be a lie to say my heart wasn't softening. After all, Uncle Lin has been so good to me. I couldn't bear to see him suffer like this. But, Uncle Lin, some things aren't just about forgiveness. I whispered. If I forgive her this time, she'll continue to hurt others in the future. She won't. She already knows she was wrong. Uncle Lin said anxiously. I will discipline her properly. Knows she was wrong. I chuckled wryly. Uncle Lin, do you know what she posted online yesterday? I took out my phone and opened Lin Yuxuan's social media account. It boldly stated, some people rely on their wealth and power to turn black and white upside down, portraying the victim as the perpetrator. However, justice is always clear. One day, the truth will be revealed. Uncle Lin looked at it, and his expression became even uglier. How is she still arguing? Not only that, I continued to scroll through my phone. She's also spreading all sorts of rumors about me online, claiming that I've been jealous of her since childhood and that I'm deliberately trying to frame her. She even said that I was the one who seduced Chen Haoxuan, ruining her relationship. Uncle Lin was completely stunned after reading this. He never expected that his daughter would continue to lie. This abominable child, he said angrily. I'm going to deal with her when I get back. Uncle Lin, did you see that? I looked at him. She has no intention of repenting at all. How could I possibly forgive someone like her? Uncle Lin was silent for a long time before finally letting out a long sigh. I'm the one who's sorry to you. Wan. He stood up. You're right. Just handle it however you see fit. I won't plead for her anymore. After sending Uncle Lin away, my mood grew even heavier. This incident not only hurt me but also harmed many innocent people. Just then, my phone rang. It's an unfamiliar number, but the caller ID shows a local phone. Hello, Song Wan, you little bitch. It was Lin Yuxuan's voice, filled with anger and resentment. You ruined my life, and I won't let you go. I said coldly. Lin Yuxuan, you are the one who ruined your own life. You're talking nonsense. If it weren't for you complaining, how could I be sued? Complaining? I laughed angrily. I just stated the facts. Facts? What facts? Do you have any evidence that I took Chen Haoshuan's money? Those words left me momentarily stunned. Indeed, I have records of Chen Haoshuan receiving money. But there is no direct evidence to prove that the money came from Lin Yuxuan. Although it can be inferred from common sense, in court, more direct evidence might still be required. What's wrong? Nothing to say now. Right. Lin Yuxuan laughed triumphantly. I'm telling you. I've already hired the best lawyer. Let's see who wins and who loses when the time comes in court. After saying that, she hung up the phone. I frowned, realizing that things might not be as simple as I thought. Since Lin Yuxuan dared to say such a thing, she must have her reasons. I immediately called my lawyer. Lawyerly. This is Song Wan. Regarding the case against Chen Haoshuan and Lin Yuxuan, do we have enough evidence? Miss Song. Regarding Chen Haoshuan, the evidence is quite substantial. The recordings, transfer records, and witness testimonies are all complete. What about Lin Yuxuan? Lin Yuxuan's situation is a bit more complicated. Lawyer Li's voice was somewhat cautious. We have recordings of her planning this, but the evidence regarding her transferring money to Chen Haoshuan is not direct enough. What do you mean? The transfer records show that the money did indeed come from Lin Yuxuan's account, but she could claim it was a loan to Chen Haoshuan, or for some other legitimate reason. Unless we can prove that this money is the reward for her orchestrating the scam, it will be difficult to secure a conviction. My heart sank. Can Lin Yuxuan really escape legal punishment? Is there any way to do it? I asked. We need more evidence. For example, the recorded conversations about monetary transactions between them, or testimony from other witnesses. Hanging up the phone, I fell into deep thought. It seems that this battle is more complicated than I had imagined. Although Lin Yuxuan is vicious, she is very clever and knows how to protect herself. And although Chen Haoshuan is greedy, he is not completely foolish. They must have some trump cards that I don't know about. I have to be more careful. Just then, the doorbell rang. Mom went to open the door and came back to tell me. Wan, there's someone claiming to be a friend of Chen Haoshuan who wants to see you. A friend of Chen Haoshuan. I was a bit confused, but I still decided to meet this person. As I walked into the living room, I saw a man in his 30s sitting on the sofa. He was wearing a suit and glasses, looking like a white-collar worker. Hello, I'm Zhang Wei, a college classmate of Chen Haoshuan. He stood up and extended his hand to me. I didn't shake his hand, just nodded. What can I do for you? Well, I'd like to discuss something regarding Haoshuan with you. He sat down again. I feel there might be some misunderstanding about this matter. Misunderstanding? I scoffed. Are those recordings also a misunderstanding? No. I'm not saying the recordings are fake. Zhang Wei quickly waved his hand. I mean, perhaps Haoshuan's motives aren't as malicious as you think. What do you mean? Zhang Wei glanced around and then lowered his voice, saying, Miss Song, do you know about Haoshuan's family's financial situation? I'm not too sure, I replied honestly. His father's company owes a lot of money, and if they can't pay it back, they'll go bankrupt. Zhang Wei said. Haoshuan getting close to you is indeed about money, but it's to save his family. So what? I remained unmoved. So I hope you can understand his predicament, Zhang Wei said. He had no choice but to do such a thing. No choice. I stood up. Mr. Zhang, do you think it's acceptable to deceive emotions for the sake of money? If the Qin family really has difficulties, they could have stated it plainly. Given the relationship between our two families, I would not stand by and watch. But they chose deception, chose to hurt. That is their fault. Zhang Wei saw that he couldn't persuade me and his expression turned a bit grim. Miss Song, Haoshwan already knows he was wrong. Can't you give him a chance? A chance. I looked at him. He has had chances. Over the past 6 months. He had countless opportunities to tell me the truth. But he didn't. Now that the matter is out in the open, you say you know you were wrong. It's too late. Zhang Wei was silent for a moment. Then suddenly said, Miss Song, if you insist on suing, it won't do you any good. There was a clear threat in his words. I looked at him coldly. Are you threatening me? It's not a threat. Just a reminder. Zhang Wei said. This matter has already attracted a lot of attention. If it continues, there might be some consequences you wouldn't want to see. Like what? For example, Zhang Wei hesitated for a moment. For example, some might say you bully the weak by using your financial power to oppress the poor. And further, some might question your character, saying you are ruthless and merciless, lacking even a shred of compassion. The rumors, once spread, will have a significant impact on your reputation. After hearing his words, I surprisingly felt calm inside. It seems that Chen Haoshwan and the others are prepared to attack me through public opinion. Mr. Zhang, thank you for your reminder, I said lightly. But I believe it's better to focus on doing my own things well rather than worrying about what others say. You can tell Chen Haoshwan that I will not withdraw the lawsuit. They won't be able to escape the responsibilities they need to bear. Zhang Wei's face completely darkened when the threat failed. Miss Song, are you really going to be this heartless? Heartless. I laughed. May I ask, who was the first to be heartless? After saying that, I turned and walked upstairs. Mom, see our guest out. Chapter 7. After Zhang Wei left, I immediately called my assistant. Xiao He, help me look into the background of this person. Zhang Wei. Okay. Miss Song, is there anything else I need to pay attention to? Make sure to focus on his relationship with Chen Haoshwan, as well as his recent activities. Got it. After hanging up the phone, I sat in my room, carefully reflecting on the conversation I had just had. Zhang Wei was definitely not just an ordinary friend. His words carried a sense of professionalism, as if he had been specially trained. Moreover, his understanding of the entire incident far exceeded that of an average friend. Most importantly, the threat he had just made was clearly organized and premeditated. It seems that there are others supporting Chen Haoshwan behind the scenes. The next morning, Xiao He sent me the investigation results. After reading the documents, my mood became even more serious. Zhang Wei is indeed not an ordinary person. He is a senior manager at a public relations company, specializing in crisis management and public opinion guidance. This public relations firm happens to be the partner hired by Lin Yuxuan's father's company. I see. Although Uncle Lin said on the surface that he wouldn't plead for his daughter anymore, he was still looking for ways to help her in private. He hired a professional public relations company, preparing to tackle me from both the public opinion and legal angles. I don't blame Uncle Lin. After all, he is Lin Yuxuan's father, and it's only natural for a parent to be protective of their daughter. However, if they think they can use this tactic to force me to compromise, they are terribly mistaken. I immediately called my lawyer. Lawyerly. The other party may attack us through public opinion. Do you have any suggestions? Miss Song, this kind of situation is quite common, Lawyerly said. But you need not worry. We have ample evidence and are not afraid of their underhanded tactics. But public opinion can sometimes be more terrifying than the law, I said anxiously. I understand that. But Miss Song, have you considered this? If we compromise out of fear of public opinion, what justice will there be in the future? Lawyer Lee's words lifted my spirits once again. Yes, if I back down out of fear, wouldn't that just encourage such bad behavior? You are right, I said firmly. Let's proceed as originally planned. All right. However, I suggest you also hire a PR firm to prevent their malicious attacks. I understand. In the afternoon, I contacted a well-known public relations firm. After hearing about my situation, the person in charge immediately indicated that they could develop a comprehensive response plan for me. Miss Song, based on our experience, they are likely to attack you from several angles. The person in charge said. What angles? First, it is said that you bully the weak by leveraging your power. Second, It is said that you are ruthless and hold no regard for past relationships. Third, it is said that your character is questionable, and that you were the one who seduced Chin Haochuan first. Fourth, it is said that you act this way for publicity, seeking to garner sympathy. After hearing this, I couldn't help but sneer. They really have quite the imagination. These are all common tactics. The person in charge said. But you don't need to worry. We will prepare our countermeasures in advance. The most important thing is, you have ample evidence in your hands, which is our greatest advantage. While we were discussing countermeasures, an article suddenly appeared online. The title was, "The True Face of a Rich Heiress." A scheming woman who has been jealous of her cousin since childhood. The article detailed the various conflicts between Lin Yuxuan and me from childhood to now, portraying me as a jealous, deeply scheming, and malicious woman. The article claimed that I couldn't stand Lin Yuxuan's beauty since we were little, so I always tried every means to suppress her. They say I deliberately flaunted my wealth in front of Lin Yuxuan to make her feel inferior. They say I used my financial advantage to control her, making her have to obey me without question. They even said that I actively seduced Chin Haochuan and then set a trap to frame Lin Yuxuan. This article is written in a very provocative manner and includes many photos of us from childhood. It looks like it was written by someone in the know, making it easy to believe. Sure enough, after the article was released, the opinion online shifted immediately. The netizens who initially supported me began to question my character. So it turns out Song Wanwan has been this malicious since childhood. It's different for the wealthy. Even when plotting against their cousins, they are so meticulous. I think this Lin Yuxuan is the true victim. A woman like Song Wanwan deserves to be dumped. Seeing these comments, my feelings were quite complex. The internet is indeed a magical place. Describing the same thing from a different angle can yield completely different reactions. Miss Song, don't pay attention to those comments. The head of the PR company comforted me. The netizens only see the surface and do not understand the truth. We'll start fighting back right now, soon. My PR team published a rebuttal article. The article detailed the flaws of the previous piece and presented more evidence. This includes the complete recording of Lin Yuxuan admitting to orchestrating the entire affair, as well as her bank records showing the payments received. Additionally, the article disclosed a detailed list of Lin Yuxuan's acceptance of my help over the years. Tuition fees, living expenses, medical costs, totaling over $1 million. If Song Wanwan is really jealous of Lin Yuxuan, why would she spend so much money helping her? The article retorted, if Song Wanwan is truly scheming, why didn't she expose the affair as soon as she discovered it, instead of giving them so many opportunities? Who, in truth, is the one who is truly scheming? After this rebuttal article was published, the tide of opinion on the internet changed once again. Rational netizens began to analyze the whole situation carefully and found that it was indeed more of Lin Yuxuan's problem. However, there is still a portion of people who continue to question me, believing that I am spending money to buy internet trolls. Online public opinion is like this. It is always impossible to satisfy everyone. Miss Song, the current situation is relatively favorable for us, the head of the public relations company said. But the other side will certainly have more moves. So we need to be prepared. Sure enough, the next day a new attack emerged. This time it's a video, claiming to be a revelation from Lin Yuxuan's good friend. In the video, a girl cries and says Lin Yuxuan has been bullied by me since childhood and has lived a very painful life. They say I often isolate her at school, making other classmates afraid to befriend her. I told her I would cut off financial support if she didn't obey. The girl spoke in such a vivid manner that it seemed very real. But I know she's lying because she isn't really Lin Yuxuan's friend at all. She is Lin Yuxuan's cousin, an actress hired by the Lin family. I immediately had the PR company investigate the girl's identity, and soon they found her real information. Then we released a counter video, revealing her true identity and disclosing the transfer records from the Lin family to her. This time, the netizens completely saw through the true nature of the Lin family. Even hiring actors to lie is an utterly vile behavior. The internet has begun to overwhelmingly criticize Lin Yuxuan and her family. How shameless. They actually bought an actor to lie. Lin Yuxuan's whole family is no good. How can such people still have the face to claim to be victims? Song Wanwan has really had the worst luck in 8 lifetimes to have such a cousin. Seeing the comments online, I felt a little relieved. At least. Most people stood on the side of justice. But I knew this battle was far from over. The courtroom battle is the true showdown. Chapter 8. The day before the trial. Lawyer Lee called me. Miss Song, I have good news and bad news. Which do you want to hear first? Let's start with the bad news. The other party has found a witness who claims to prove that Chen Haoxuan and Lin Yuxuan are genuinely in love. With no money involved. I frowned. What witness? A waitress from a cafe, who says she often sees them together, looking very affectionate. Not like they're acting. Ha! I let out a cold laugh. Of course they are affectionate. After all, they are partners. Yes. However, this witness might have some impact on our case. So what about the good news? We have also found an important witness. Lawyer Lee's voice was filled with excitement. It's Chen Haoxuan's ex-girlfriend. She is willing to testify, saying that Chen Haoxuan once told her he wanted to find a rich girl to marry in order to change his fate. This is indeed good news. Why is she willing to testify? Because Chen Haoxuan dumped her for you. She's been very angry, now that she sees Chen Haoxuan in trouble. She feels it's karma. Is it reliable? Very reliable. We have already done a background check. And her testimony is very convincing. After hanging up the phone, I felt a mix of emotions. The trial is tomorrow. And I don't know what the outcome will be. But no matter what, I will stick it out to the end. On the day of the trial, many reporters and onlookers gathered outside the court. This case has become a social hotspot. And everyone is paying attention to the outcome. I walked into the courtroom wearing a black suit and saw that Chen Haoxuan and Lin Yuxuan were already seated in the defendant's dock. Chen Haoxuan looked very haggard. His hair was also messy. Lin Yuxuan was dressed very elegantly, as if she were attending an important occasion. After the judge announced the start of the court session, both sides' lawyers began to present the case. Our lawyer detailed all the evidence, recordings, transfer records, witness testimonies. Each piece of evidence clearly pointed to the same conclusion. This was a meticulously planned scam. The opposing lawyer attempted to downplay the role of this evidence, emphasizing that the relationship between Chen Haoxuan and Lin Yuxuan was genuine. Members of the jury, please do not be fooled by appearances, the opposing lawyer said passionately. The emotional world of young people is complex and cannot be explained merely by financial relationships. Chen Haoxuan did say some inappropriate things, but that was just the impulsiveness of youth and cannot be considered evidence of a crime. And Miss Lin Yuxuan is, in fact, the victim in this matter. She has been misunderstood by her cousin, defamed by the media, and has suffered tremendous mental anguish. Listening to the defense from the opposing lawyer, I couldn't help but smirk inwardly. Indeed, they are professionals, capable of turning black into white. Next came the witness testimony segment. The first to take the stand was the cafe waitress. He testified in court that he often saw Chen Haoxuan and Lin Yuxuan on dates at the cafe, and they appeared very affectionate. Not like they were putting on a show. They often hold hands, and sometimes they kiss. The waiter said, I think they are truly in love. The opposing lawyer nodded in satisfaction, as if this testimony could overturn all the evidence. When it was our lawyer's turn to refute, he asked a very crucial question. Excuse me, witness, do you recall exactly when they came to the cafe? The waiter paused for a moment. The exact time? I can't quite remember. Then do you remember what they were wearing? That I can't remember either. Do you remember what they said? I didn't pay much attention. After a series of questions, this witness's testimony became riddled with holes. Clearly, he was just paid to commit perjury. Then, Chen Haoxuan's ex-girlfriend took the stand to testify. She detailed what Chen Haoxuan had once said. He said he wanted to marry a wealthy girl so he wouldn't have to struggle. He also said that although Song Wanwan wasn't very attractive, her family was rich, and she was a good target. I thought he was joking at the time, but I didn't expect him to actually do it. This testimony dealt a fatal blow to Chen Haoxuan. Finally, the judge asked the defendant if he had anything to say. Chen Haoxuan stood up, his voice trembling as he said, Your Honor, I did make a mistake, and I am willing to take responsibility. But I want to say that I have feelings for Song Wanwan as well. It's not just about the money. Before he could finish his words, Lin Yuxuan jumped up. Chen Haoxuan, how long are you going to keep lying? The courtroom was in uproar. Lin Yuxuan was actually attacking Chen Haoxuan in court. You were only in it for the money from the beginning. Lin Yuxuan shouted hysterically. Did you think I didn't know? You never loved anyone at all. The judge struck the gavel, demanding silence. But Lin Yuxuan had completely lost control. I was deceived by him too. He said as long as I cooperated with the act, once he got Song Wanwan's money, we would be able to live a good life together. But he lied to me. He doesn't love me at all. He only loves money. This statement completely exposed their true relationship. It turned out that Lin Yuxuan was merely a tool used by Chen Haoxuan. Chen Haoxuan's face turned pale. He never expected Lin Yuxuan would bite back at him in court. Lin Yuxuan, have you lost your mind? He said softly. Am I going crazy? Lin Yuxuan sneered. It was you who drove me mad. From the very beginning. This was your plan. You made me get close to Song Wanwan, to understand her character, and then devised this scheme. I'm just an executor. The real mastermind is you. Everyone in the courtroom was stunned. It turns out, the truth is actually like this. Chen Haoxuan is the true mastermind behind this scam, while Lin Yuxuan is merely his accomplice. However, Lin Yuxuan is clearly unwilling to bear the blame alone. So she turned on him in court. The judge announced a recess, requiring a reinvestigation of new testimonies. As I walked out of the courthouse, my emotions were quite mixed, although the truth was revealed. Watching two once close individuals tear at each other in court brought me no pleasure, only sorrow. The greed and selfishness of humanity can be truly terrifying at times. A week later, the court announced the final verdict. Chen Haoxuan was found guilty of fraud and sentenced to 3 years in prison, with a compensation for my financial losses amounting to 5 million. Lin Yuxuan was judged as an accomplice and sentenced to 1.5 years in prison, with a 2-year probation and joint liability for compensation. After the verdict was announced, the media once again ignited a heated debate. Most people believe the judgment was fair, and the wrongdoers received the punishment they deserved. However, some people feel that the sentencing is too harsh, as it did not result in any actual economic loss. I no longer care much about these controversies. What matters is that justice has been served. Chapter 9. 3 days after the judgment, I received a letter from Chen Haoxuan sent from the detention center. The letter was short, only a few sentences. Lon. I'm sorry. I know it's too late to say anything now, but I still want to tell you that amidst those false feelings, there was also some truth. Perhaps it started for the money, but later on, I truly developed feelings for you. Unfortunately, my greed destroyed everything. I hope you can find someone who truly loves you and live happily. Reading this letter, I felt a mix of emotions inside. Maybe what he said was true. Maybe it was just the final performance. But none of that matters anymore. What matters is that I've learned how to protect myself. On the same day, I also received an apology letter from Lin Yuxuan. Her letter was long, detailing the bits and pieces of our lives together since childhood. She admitted that she had been jealous of me since we were young, acknowledging that she had done many wrong things. She said that she finally understood that my kindness towards her was genuine. While she had repaid it in the most malicious way, she requested my forgiveness and hoped that, considering our years of sisterhood, I would give her a chance to start anew. After reading this letter, my eyes felt a bit damp. Regardless of everything, we once shared a genuine sisterly bond. Although she made a mistake, she is, after all, my cousin whom I watched grow up since childhood. I picked up a pen and wrote her a reply. Yuxuan, I accept your apology. Although you hurt me, I won't hold a grudge against you forever. I hope you can truly turn over a new leaf and start again. However, our relationship, I'm afraid, can never return to what it once was. This is not a punishment, but a form of protection, protecting each other, so we are no longer hurt. I wish you all the best in your future. After finishing the letter, I felt a weight in my heart finally lifted. This painful experience is finally coming to an end. The next day, I began to prepare for my trip abroad. Visa, school applications, packing luggage. Everything fills me with excitement. I can't wait to start my new life. Just as I was busy preparing, my assistant Xiao He suddenly came to find me. Miss Song, there's someone who wants to see you. Who? He said his name is Su Chen. Your college classmate. Su Chen. The name took me by surprise. Su Chen is indeed my college classmate and was once my secret crush. For 4 years of college, I had a crush on him, but I never confessed my feelings. After graduation, we seldom kept in touch. How could he suddenly come to find me? Let him in, I said. A few minutes later, Su Chen appeared before me. He was still as handsome and refined as he had been in college, though with a touch more maturity. Wan, long time no see, he said to me with a smile. Yeah, long time no see. I smiled as well. What brings you here? I saw the news and knew you've been going through some things lately. His expression turned concerned. Are you okay? I'm good. Thanks for asking, I said. Please have a seat. Would you like something to drink? Just plain water is fine. I poured him a glass of water and then sat across from him. What are you working on now? I asked. I'm an analyst at an investment company, he said. The job is relatively stable. We talked about some memories from college. And the atmosphere was relaxed, but I could sense that he didn't come today just to reminisce. Sure enough, after chatting for a while, he turned the conversation to my recent experiences. Wan, I was really angry for you after seeing the news, he said. Those two people went too far. It's already in the past, I said lightly. What are you planning to do next? He asked. I heard you're going abroad. Well, I want to recharge and learn some new things. Su Chen was silent for a moment, then suddenly said, Wan. Can I ask you a question? What question? Do you still believe in love? The question left me stunned. After a long time, I finally answered. I don't know. Maybe I believe. Maybe I don't. If Su Chen hesitated for a moment. If someone truly loves you, would you give them a chance? I looked at him, and a bad premonition arose in my heart. Su Chen, what do you want to say? He took a deep breath, then looked into my eyes and said, Wan. Actually, I've always liked you. I've liked you since university. My heart suddenly started to race. I know it might not be the right time to say this, especially after everything you've just been through, he continued. But I don't want to miss this chance again. Wan. I mean it sincerely. I like you. Not because of your family background. Not because of your wealth. But simply because I like you as a person. I want to take care of you. To protect you. And to ensure you are no longer hurt. Listening to his confession, my emotions were complicated. It's a lie to say I'm not moved. After all, he was once my secret crush. Moreover, his timing was too perfect. Like a prince in a fairy tale appearing when the princess needed him the most. However, after what happened with Chen Haoxuan, I became cautious about all my feelings. Su Chen, thank you for your kindness, I said softly, but I'm just not ready to start a new relationship right now. I understand. He nodded. I can wait. Wait for me to come back from abroad. If necessary, I can wait a lifetime. His words warmed my heart, but at the same time, they also brought some pressure. Su Chen, you don't have to do this, I said. I don't know when I'll be able to walk out of the shadow. You don't need to waste time on me. This is not wasting time, he said seriously. To love someone means to be willing to give for her. If you ultimately choose someone else, I'll still bless you. But until then, I want to give it a try. I looked into his sincere eyes, and a wave of complex emotions surged within me. Well, I hesitated for a moment. Can you give me some time to think about it? Of course, he smiled. I'll be waiting for your answer. After sending Su Chen off, I sat in the room and thought for a long time. It would be a lie to say I wasn't stirred. Su Chen is indeed a very good man. And I really did like him once. However, Chen Haoxuan's situation has left me with a deep shadow. I am afraid of being deceived again. Afraid of being hurt again. Moreover, Su Chen's appearance is too coincidental. Right at my most vulnerable moment. This makes me doubt whether he has other motives as well. Thinking of this, I picked up the phone. Xiao He, help me investigate Su Chen's background. Su Chen, the gentleman who just came to see you. Yes. Investigate his recent situation in detail, including work, relationships, financial status, and so on. All right. Miss Song, I know this might be a bit much, but after what happened with Chen Haoxuan, I have to be careful. If Su Chen is truly sincere, then my investigation won't uncover any issues. If he has ulterior motives, then my caution is indeed necessary. No matter what, I will no longer let myself be easily hurt. Chapter 10. 3 days later, Xiao He handed me the investigation results. After reading the materials, my feelings were quite complicated. Su Chen's background is very clean, with no suspicious aspects. He does work at an investment company, earning a decent income, but it's not particularly high. He hasn't had a girlfriend recently. His work performance is good, and his relationships with colleagues are also fine. More importantly, according to the investigation, he indeed had feelings for me back in college. Several mutual classmates have confirmed that Su Chen had asked about me multiple times and even wanted to confess his feelings but ultimately lacked the courage. It seems that everything he said is true, just as I was dazedly staring at the documents. The doorbell rang. My mom went to answer the door and came back to tell me, Wan, it's Su Chen. He said he has urgent business with you. Su Chen, why is he here again? I walked into the living room and saw Su Chen standing there, his expression a bit serious. What's wrong? I asked. Wan, I heard someone is investigating me, he asked directly. I was taken aback for a moment, not expecting him to ask directly. Yes, I admitted somewhat awkwardly. Su Chen looked at me, with no anger on his face. Only understanding. I understand why you did this, he said softly. After what happened with Chen Haoxuan, it's only natural for you to become cautious. Aren't you angry? I asked in surprise. Why would I be angry? He smiled. If I were you, I would do the same. Wan. I know you don't trust anyone right now, including me. That's normal and rational. But I want to tell you that no matter how you investigate, the result remains the same. My feelings for you are genuine, with no ulterior motives. His words stirred a wave of warmth in my heart. It's indeed rare to find a man who understands my caution and doesn't blame my doubts. Su Chen, I wanted to say something, but I didn't know what to say. You don't have to feel burdened, he said. I came today to tell you something. What's the matter? My company is preparing to send me to the United States for 2 years. My heart suddenly sank. When? Next month. He looked at me. I was originally going to refuse, but now I think maybe this is a good opportunity. A good opportunity. For you. And for me as well, he explained. You need time to heal your inner wounds right now, and my presence might put pressure on you. And you're planning to study abroad. Right. Maybe we can meet overseas. By then you'll be in a better mood. I looked at him, feeling an indescribable emotion in my heart. He was truly thoughtful, even considering this little detail. Are you sure? I asked. Sure. He nodded. 2 years is enough time for you to heal properly, and for me to prove my sincerity. If 2 years later, you still refuse to give me a chance, then I will completely give up. If you're willing, then let's start over. I remained silent for a long time before finally nodding. Okay. Su Chen smiled and said, then I'll wait for you. A month later, I boarded a flight to London. Looking down from the airplane window, the city that once caused me pain was gradually fading away. I knew that when I returned, everything would be different. I will become stronger, more independent, and better at protecting myself. As for Su Chen, I looked at the last message he sent on my phone. Safe travels. Waiting for your return. Maybe he really deserves another chance from me. But now, I must first learn how to love myself. 2 years later, winter in London. I graduated from business school with a master's degree in financial management. In these 2 years, I not only learned professional knowledge, but more importantly, I regained my confidence. I am no longer the girl who lost herself because of betrayal. I am Song Wan, an independent, strong, and capable woman. The day before I prepared to return to my country, I received a call from Su Chen. Wan, I heard you're going back to the country. Yes, tomorrow's flight. Well, his voice was a bit nervous. Can we meet? You're in London too? I asked in surprise. I just arrived yesterday. Came specifically to take you back home. The next day, at Heathrow Airport, I saw Su Chen waiting for me. It's been 2 years since we last met, and he has become more mature and composed. Welcome home, he said to me with a smile. Thank you. I smiled back. On the flight back to the country, we talked a lot regarding the experiences of these 2 years, about our individual growth, about plans for the future. I found that Su Chen is truly a very good man. He didn't rush me for an answer, nor did he show any impatience. He just quietly accompanied me, waiting for me. When the plane landed at the domestic airport, I suddenly made a decision. Su Chen. I turned to him. Thank you for waiting for me for 2 years. No need to thank me. It's what I wanted. Now, I want to give you an answer. I took a deep breath. I'm willing to give it a try. His eyes lit up instantly. Really? Really? I nodded. But let's take it slow. Okay. Of course. He excitedly grabbed my hand. We have plenty of time.